I have one last question, and it's about what you said. I've heard that the more bad feelings or bad experiences we have had is we're putting like a bigger account in our vortex. Is that?
Yes, because when you know what you don't want, you know if you sort of don't want that, then you sort of do want that, and that goes in the vortex. If you really don't want that, then you really do want that, and it goes in the vortex. There's an equivalent, because the vibration is a wave that has both ends on it. And so the more you know what you don't want, the more you know what you do want. So yes, there is an amassing of all of that.
So I know my vortex is huge and wonderful. So how can I get the things? Just being happy and having happy feelings, that's all?
It was interesting because you said, I know that my vortex is full of things, so how do I get them? Mm-hmm. And which sort of implied you wanted them to come out here where you are. And the answer is you got to go in there where they are.
And how? Just being happy?
By not doing that thing you do that keeps you out. Because that's the best answer in the world. Because the vortex will take you naturally unless you're beating the drum of something that holds you out.
Okay.
You see.
Okay.
So it's interesting when you know what makes people have negative emotion, and ultimately what makes them sick is not big things. It's just the wearing of the chronic, we call them petty because they're really unimportant things. It's too much problem orientation for too long. When you came into this physical body, you knew that there would be contrast, and you knew that it would serve you in your expansion. But you didn't plan on making such a career out of the problem orientation. You expected to see a problem and say, well, I know what I don't want. What is it that I do want? And then to turn your undivided attention toward what you do want, which then brings you into vibrational alignment with that. So you just have this wonderful motion forward. The exhilaration of life, really, the fun part of life is having expanded and the sensation of catching up with that expansion. That's why you never get it done. Often our physical friends think that what the fun part of life is to want it and then get the manifestation. But really, what you're reaching for, what that joy is, what that happiness is that you're reaching for, is the movement in the direction of who you really are. And if it's really working well for you, and it is, contrast causes you to expand. You move in the direction of it. Now you're in a new place with a whole new set of contrasting experiences, which cause you to expand. Now you're moving in the direction of it. Now you get it, and you're standing in a whole new place with a whole new set of contrasting experiences which causes you to expand. So there's no ending to the reaching and no ending to the catching up, and no ending to the reaching and no ending to the catching up, and no ending to the reaching and no ending to the catching up. That's what joyful life is really all about, you see. And so we really like that phrase that we offer, that you never get it done and you can't get it wrong. It's just a matter of being aware that the vortex is calling you, and allow yourself as much peace from resistant thoughts. And the thing that keeps people from allowing their vortex to just take them in more regularly is that they're so involved in the details of life and pushing against so many things that they don't allow the well-being that's waiting for them and that's calling them to be more dominant. It's a simple flip for you. Really, it is. We're spending more time than we really want to amplifying the out of the vortex stuff because it's a simple flip for you. That's why always we have taught meditation, because it's really easier to teach you to have no thought than to have pure positive thought, especially on things that have been bothering you. In other words, most people who are employed have quite a long list of things about their employment that they don't like. Is that true of any of you? In other words, I don't feel free time-wise and so forth, or I'm not appreciated as much as I would like to be, or I'm not paid as well as I really deserve, or it isn't causing me to stretch in the way that I really want, or I'm bored, or I'm not happy with the people. In other words, there are lists of things that are going on that you just re-sign up for, reactivate every day as you go to work, as you just observe it. You just observe it. You don't even realize you're doing it. So there's this sort of chronic level of uneasiness that you have just learned to endure because, and in answer to that wonderful question that we just had, you're not allowing the best response to your emotion because you just kind of got used to it, you see. So when we teach meditation, the first thing it does is it sharpens. If you meditate every day for 15 or 20 minutes and allow your vibration to raise so that there is this now conscious awareness of what it feels like to be in that higher frequency, when you dip into a lower frequency, it sticks out more like a sore thumb, so that you can then be more responsive to your negative emotion. So sometimes people say, Abraham, I feel less good now that I'm playing with you in these early days than I did before, because my negative emotion, I'm so much more aware of it. And we say, good. And now the next question is, what are you going to do about it? And that's what we've been talking about here today. Just appreciate it and chill within it. And little by little, you just begin dissolving those patches until things that have been bothering you aren't bothering you. And your frequency is just generally raising. And your point of attraction is shifting. So it just gets better and better and easier to feel good. It's always an inside job. And you will never reach the place that you will not want to tend to your vibrational frequency, because you will never reach the place that contrast ceases causing you to expand. So you will never stop expanding, which means there will never be a time that there isn't the potential for split energy and therefore emotion that tells you that you're off track. So what we want you to do is make peace with that negative emotion and see it as the blessing that it is, in the same way that you appreciate any guidance. Jerry just loves those little bumps on the side of the road that let him know that Esther's not paying attention. Or that let him know that it's letting Esther know that she wasn't paying attention. Okay. In other words, it's nice to know, isn't it? Yes. Okay. Very good.
Thank you.
Yes, indeed.